Hi, this is Marta with Universal Power Tarot, and these messages we bring you today are supposed to encourage, elevate, and empower you guys. Hello. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Today we're looking into what your spiritual team would like you to know at this time. So your guides, what do they want you to know? Love and light exclusively is permitted in this space of the highest Christ light and highest divine consciousness. And it's for the highest good of all and to encourage, elevate, and empower you on your own personal and spiritual growth journey. If you heard that that noise, it's our dog. May have sounded like a fart, but that's not what it was. All right, let's see. Maybe your spirit team really has a lot of humor. That happens quite a bit. That's quite fantastic. So what do you have for the people here watching? Oh. Getting scorpionic energy with this. I'm so drawn to this. This one, yes. This one, no. Yeah. We have death and rebirth as maybe your first card will see, or maybe it goes in the middle. So scorpionic energy for sure. No, 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 no. Interesting. Out of all of these cards, and I immediately felt, okay, that's the one, despite all the other cards coming out. So your intuition might be amping up at this time. Trust it, trust it, trust it, trust it. Absolutely 1000%. There's something about ego death that is occurring within you at this time, and your spiritual team wants you to be aware of that fact. Okay, because it can feel like you're losing part of yourself, which is indeed what is happening, but you're not actually losing, you're transforming. And it can be really tough for the mind when that happens, because the mind's like, we're going to hold on to it. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And spirit and your heart is like, let's go. So it may feel like you're torn in two different directions because you don't really know where this is going, because there is a void space here that is indicated, and that usually happens between point A and point B. So when the old is falling away or has already fallen away, there's an in-between space called the void where you don't really know what's happening. You may not know who you are until you finally think you know who you are again. Until the same thing is starting all over. And that process can take years, like in between. Or it can be like a quick one. So we'll see how this goes. This one, yes. Okay, we are going to bring in the White Light Oracle by Elena Fairchild. I love her and her decks. Highly recommend. I think my first deck was the Isis Oracle by her. Yeah, pretty sure. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. She's amazing. The artwork and what's on the cards and the healing processes and incantations. So you may get into those processes yourself way more. If you haven't, then let that be your message from your spiritual team to get into spiritual practices way more, whatever that means to you. It doesn't mean you have to become a vegan and live on a mountain as a hermit for the next 10 years. It is what is being presented to you, okay? Because those spiritual paths, they can be very individual, and they are very individual. So you need to figure out what it is for you. And usually this happens when you go along with the guidance, and the guidance will be presented to you in many, many different forms and ways. So do pay attention, is what they're saying, to the indicators that they're giving you. Some of you are worried about the path. Yeah, and that's also a thing. Sometimes that happens, okay? Sometimes that happens. Sometimes we get worried because we don't know where this is going. And there's a lot of faith and trust that is required. Go away. On this path, because you will not be presented often with, oh, this is where you're going, or this is who you're going to evolve into. No, it's like one of these, and you're like, oh my God. And you're required to trust your team and to have faith in this path, in yourself too, by the way, in your own strength and courage, and in your own ability to read the signs and to listen intently. Okay? No, no, this one, yes. Bath Cole, we had that the other day. That's so interesting, because with this one, I feel shadow work coming up. We have number 8 here. Read this? No. Okay, and the funny thing is, at the back, we have the spirit wolf. Bath coal. It's like almost flip side of the coin. Yeah. Which wolf are you feeding? This is interesting because it's literally like this. Okay. So we have the shadow and we have the light indicated here. And with the scorpionic energy, again, that's coming up. And Scorpios, every sign, matter of fact, and you don't have to be a Scorpio. I'm just saying and explaining this here. Every sign has a dark side and a light side. And we all have a shadow side and a light side within ourselves. So which one are you giving your attention to? And are you pushing your shadow away because you don't want to see it, you don't like this about yourself, or are you actually bringing it back on board? And this is just not one shadow. There can be many, many, many areas and many internal people that we're choosing not to see. Or are you bringing them on board and are you transforming them in a loving way? Truly, because this is the way to me. It really is. Like the internal work is absolutely essential here. Like take that seriously is what they're saying. To those of you that have been doing that particular work, especially fairly recently, let that be your confirmation. You are seen, you are indeed doing the work, and you're progressing on your spiritual path here, okay? Just keep going, keep going. Let's see. Oh, wow. Another Elena Fairchild deck. We have the Sacred Rebel Oracle that wants to come in. Let me just clean this up a bit. I want to warn here to too much eagerness when it comes to your progression. For example, opening the third eye prematurely, trying to force a Kundalini awakening when it's not your time for that to happen. This is not for everybody, but this is a special message for someone here to not overdo it, because I remember too when this is funny that I should mention it, because with the Elena Fairchild decks I did one too many healing rituals in a day, and then it was like all hell kind of broke loose and I was so overwhelmed. It would have been better for me to do just one thing and let that soak in and sit, and not to go so bananas with it. But that was a valuable lesson for me also. So just a word of advice here, okay? I know it's not all of you, but I thought that was very specific. This one, yes, we have definitely shadow work. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely indicated. And that is just an essential part of this whole thing. Defend to the end, the worthwhile. Number 23. Look at that. And we have the owl as a spirit guide here. Dragon spirit is coming in here also because they can be very useful when it comes to shadow work, to call in your dragon spirits, to call in your owl spirits, to help you, to protect you during this important phase in your work. Do not skip it, is what they're saying. Go through it, go with it. It may seem dark and scary. Sometimes we can be frightened by that which we see within us. And don't be frightened by it. It's like you go there, you go to those places and you go explore and see who it is that is making the ruckus. See who it is that is afraid or that is causing issues and challenges. It is the way through. It's not around, it's not the bypassing, it's the way through and in. And that strengthens you too, because you see how capable you are. And trust and believe me, you are very capable of going through these, again, sorry, that dog, these processes, okay? And it is very helpful here to you. Some journaling, doing some artwork with it, like really expressing yourself and really letting that out. And the journaling process can be an amazing one to do when it comes to shadow work, because you can do that yourself. If you don't know how to do it, you can reach out to me for some coaching calls or mentorships, and I can show you how you can do these things yourself. We can get you started, and then you go by yourself, because you are capable of doing this. You can reach out at universalpowertarot@gmail.com if you're interested in doing this work together, because especially in the beginning and sometimes in between there, we can all use a little bit of help. So if you're in need, please reach out. Okay, what else do they want you to know? This one, yes. And read this, no. We have the Messenger Oracle, and we have yet another owl. I'm wondering if the owl is a particularly important spirit animal of yours. Oh God, these flies are bugging me. Let's see. It would be really funny if a dragon thing came out. This one, no. Okay. And 23 is a really important number when you see it. And there's a bug right by the microphone. What is going on? Stop it, everyone. I feel like today is a day where there's just so much interference, and it's so hard to stay centered within self because everybody wants something, whether it's insects, flies, whether it's a dog, a child, friends, somebody. So do stay centered here within yourself, or at least try to. Sometimes that can be hard, which is why spiritual practices are so important, because you are the one who chooses your emotional state and your state of being every day. You can indeed do this. Sometimes when you're at the beginning of trauma work, for example, should that apply to you, that is not entirely true, because you might not be aware of your power quite yet. But once you start and you get going in the processes, eventually you are totally capable of holding that space for yourself, taking that time for yourself. You're worth it, and you can change your state of being like that. Let me tell you, it is so possible, and it's a very empowering place once you arrive there. And that may be a message for you. You may be in transition into that space where you're able to manage your own emotion. And I'm not saying control. I'm saying you're, transforming your state of being, your emotional state. There's a huge difference between bypassing and between actually, okay, what's going on? Let's go through it. It's not necessary every day. And then come out on the other end and then be like, okay, this is my state of being. And when you make this a practice, this can change your life. Like it changed mine. It absolutely changed mine. Let me tell you. And I'm so grateful and happy for it. It wasn't easy, like to go through all the processes that were necessary, but it is so freaking worth it, because I would have not wanted to live my life the way I used to live it. I'm so much happier the way it is now. I'm truly grateful for this long ass journey that it took to get here. Okay, and so I'm saying it because I believe it's relevant for some of you here. This one, no. This one, yes. That was quick. Oh my God, look! Reveal your truth. Take off the mask, my dear. Oh my God, this is so about shadow work. Unbelievable. Number 34, breaking down to a 7. I recently did a reading where that card came out too, so that might be relevant, but I might have a hard time trying to track down which one that was. But maybe you remember, then you can post it down below which one that was. Yes, absolutely. Let me show you those 3 cards next to each other, because it's like the Queen of Darkness is definitely here, and she is beautiful, and she is showing her face. So there's something about darkness and shadow that is very relevant, and that your spirit guides want you to know and to honor yourself and to love yourself, especially in your shadowy side. Okay? And again, that does not mean to be totally egotistical, not that I think you would, but just to clarify for maybe those of you that are coming into this channel newly, it does not mean that. It does not mean give into your bad behavior, quote unquote, or into the craziness that is showing up here. It means working with it and loving it and transmuting it, okay? And then you'll come out on the other end. But it is super important here. And some of you are really going through it. And yes, indeed, you need to go through it. Don't put it off any longer. Start the work today. Like journaling, look it up, or reach out to me if you feel so inclined. Really start doing the work here, or continue doing your work here, because it's very, very beneficial. Anything else? Yes. This one, yes. Last card, yes. Okay. We're about to finish it out with Heart and Soul Oracle. Let's see what we have. And you're doing great, my sweetheart, okay? Just keep walking. Keep walking. If you need a break, take a break, and then you keep walking. This one, no. This one, yes. All right. It's funny. I'm just being drawn to how to use these cards. So some of you may be looking for the instruction manual to this life. Yes. Yes, yes. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. Before I knew how to, channel, and before I knew how to read tarot and to see things from a higher perspective, I was looking for that as well. Okay, here we go. And your message here is that you are dearly loved is an eternal truth. For in the grand cosmic scheme of things, only love is real, and only love will remain forever within our hearts. Love does not judge you. It just unconditionally loves you. It is the true wisdom of consciousness. Seek shelter in love, and you shall hear the song of spirit and be guided by its sacred sound. So love yourself like the angels, like your guides, are loving you through any and all expressions of who you are. That's how you become authentically you, because it makes you take off those masks. It forces you into those states that are highly uncomfortable for the reason so that you can transform yourself into that which you are supposed to be, okay? That which you always were. Okay? With a lot of wisdom, with a lot of compassion here, okay? So love yourself, my dear, in any and all of your aspects. I hope this was helpful and or insightful to you. Again, if you would like to work with me, I posted a couple of videos down below in the description box of the services that I offer. Watch those if you're interested, or reach out to me. I'm pretty quickly hearing which is good for you, as I have my own guidance system that I'm working with. So reach out at universalpowertarot@gmail.com. Sending you so much love, light, and shadow, and I'll see you next time, sweethearts. Bye. Bye-bye.